everything. Okay, so we are officially recording. Hello, thank you for attending the optional session. Today we're going to go over your intervention assignment in a little bit more detail, and I do have some changes for the assignment from the syllabus. So thank you for tuning in, and I will make sure that this is up and recorded so that anybody who isn't here can find out that information as well. Just a few quick notes. As you saw, I shot everyone a message this morning. I'm just so impressed with how engaged everyone is on the discussion boards. So please keep that up. And also know, this week was a bit of a slower week because you didn't have an assignment due. So I appreciate people who spent a little more time. But during those weeks when you have an assignment due, such as next week, feel free to, do 1 or 2 responses and don't feel like you have to respond to everyone on your group like you're doing. So we can be flexible with that. So again, if you are busy with an assignment, make sure you get at least 1 response in. If it's a week that we don't have assignments, you can put a little more effort into the discussion boards. As long as you meet the minimum criteria, you will get your points. Again, I appreciate the rich discussion, but I saw that, some people are spending hours on the discussion board, which is great, but don't feel as if you have to do that when you have a major assignment to focus on. So prioritize and manage your time accordingly. Again, I'm very impressed with what you're doing, so, keep up the good work. So let's take a look at the intervention assignment. Again, and I let you guys know, I didn't develop the syllabus. This was developed by another one of our professors. So when I took the syllabus, I said, okay, I'm going to do what she did. And I'm just as overwhelmed as you guys by grading all of these assignments. So I figured that we could come together and make some changes to this intervention assignment to make all of our lives a little bit easier. So here was the original posting from the syllabus, and what I did was went and crossed some things off and cut that in half. And I'm going to pull this up on another slide. I see everybody squinting and reading there. So I'm going to move to our slide here. So what I did was I cut out the assignment portion where you are looking at an intervention in Chapter 6. So right now I only want you to focus on 1 intervention, and you can do the interventions that you selected on the Padlet. So based on that information, you're going to find 5 to 7 peer-reviewed articles and write a 4 to 5 page paper based on this particular intervention. If you go back to the week where you signed up for your topic, in the resources section, there's a link to the Affirm modules. And if you download the evidence-based manual that's associated with your given topic, it will actually give you a list of articles that you can look up. If anybody's having issues finding this, you can let me know. But again, that takes a lot of the legwork out for you because it gives you the articles that have the criteria for being evidence-based. Question?
Yeah, could you repeat that?
So I'll actually pull it up for you guys. So if you go into D2L, and I forget what week it was. Does everybody see my D2L screen? Okay. I think it might have been week 3, maybe week 2. And if this isn't it, I'm going to go right to the page so that you guys can see that, because for some reason D2L moves like molasses when Zoom's on here. Okay, it wasn't that week, so it had to be week 4, but I'm going to go right to the website. It's the Affirm website. And this is run by the University of North Carolina. And you have to sign up for a free account. But again, once you sign up, they don't solicit you or anything. So it's an easy sign up. So these are groupings of some of the strategies. And one thing to keep in mind is some of them are lumped together. So modeling might be a couple different things. Picture interventions is one. So like social story people can look in social narratives. Visual supports, this is going to hit your scheduling and a few other things. So again, some of the topics are subtopics within here. So I'm going to look at video modeling. After I signed in, I'm just going to select the module. And then if I go down to start the module for a non-certificate track, so that way it's free. I don't want a certificate. You can do a
You actually selected, yes, I do want a certificate.
No, that's a non-certificate track.
But then they asked you again. And
let's see. No, I don't. There we go. No, thank you. So if you go down to the bottom here, this is the briefing packet. And again, it's a little bit long. Here's 27 pages, but right in the beginning, it gives you a list of all of the articles and all of the previous research that tells you that this is evidence-based. And I like it because it breaks it up by age group. So if I'm somebody who's in early childhood, I'm going to be pulling these articles to focus on because it has the most to do with, my age group. Preschool, elementary, goes up to high school. Now, again, depending on, which topic you picked, it will depend on how many articles for each area there are. But again, you can pull 5 of these. You can copy and paste this right here and plop that into Westchester's library and pull up a few of these articles. So again, hopefully that takes out some of the legwork for finding these articles because they're, they already did the vetting for you. Any questions about the Affirm site? Again, I think the link is in week 4 where we talked about evidence-based practices, sign up for a free account. And, if you can't find the stuff, just keep scrolling down because everything's kind of hidden on the bottom of their page there. So again, you're only working on 5 to 7 articles. So in your written paper, you're going to talk about this particular intervention and the framework, talk about how it's evidence-based, go into some details about the ABA principles that are within that particular intervention. Additionally, you are going to create a video where you are informing your other classmates, particularly those in your group. You're presenting this intervention to them. You are going to specifically look at one article, and you can talk about the participants, dependent variables, independent variables, effectiveness of the study, and limitations. Then with that article, you want to develop an example of how this can be used in a classroom. So again, here's some information that you want to put in there. What type of learners, including ages, maybe other things like staff ratios that you might need to make this work in a classroom. I'm really looking at how are you going to teach using this skill? How can you implement it? Then I want you to talk about materials that you're going to need. And here's the one other thing that you need in addition to your video is a sample data sheet. Do not overthink this many, 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 many times. And I'm going back to my briefing here. Go to the table of contents. Many of times there is a data sheet that is right in here. And let me see if they have that. There is absolutely no sense of recreating the wheel. Data sheets, 5th in line here. So you can use this data sheet. You can take this data sheet and, go in Word and make the same thing. If you do that, just say modified from Cox and Affirm team 2018, but do not recreate the wheel. These people have done that for you. So don't go creating, a new data sheet. If you already use something, great. But, don't overthink this. It's already done for you. You just need to know how to find these evidence-based resources and implement them. So that's the only thing we're looking for is a video and a sample data sheet in your presentation. So first you're going to turn in the written part to me. That's going to be week 7. I did push that back. I put that announcement up there. Go back to my PowerPoint here. And then week 9, you will be presenting your video. I gave you a couple tools to do your video. In week 9, I recommend VoiceThread. That's a really easy one. You can also use Screencast. So again, there's a ton of information on what you can use, as well as some of the built-in stuff such as QuickTime, Screen Recorder, and then I put all the Microsoft stuff in there for all my PC people. So again, don't stress over that. A quick recording. And again, something to share with you to keep in mind, how the lectures are structured in this course and how you should consider your information. Some of the research that came out of Westchester's distance learning department is that students don't pay attention to lectures that are online after 7 minutes. So I have tried to make all of my lectures under 10. So if you tune out the last 3 minutes, I'll try not to say anything too important. But keep that in mind and use that for a marker for your video. Try not to go over 7 minutes. And then finally, the next week, which is week 10, you are going to do peer reviews for the members of your group. And all this is making sure that you provide meaningful feedback within the discussion board. So this week, you're not doing an initial post. You're just commenting on everyone else's and providing information. How do you think you could use this in your class? Is there anything that you would recommend that they might change? How could you make this for an older population, younger population, etc.? So again, I hope with having you focus on one of these topics, you really do a solid job with that. I think I'll have much better results because you guys are really able to focus instead of spreading this out over two different interventions and 2 different videos. So 1 it is. With that, are there any questions with this assignment?
Hi. Do we have access to this PowerPoint, like specifically the instructions that you had changed?
So what I'll do is I'll download this PowerPoint and this video and I'll put it up so you can access the PowerPoint or the video. Sound good?
Great, thank you.
No problem.
I have one question too. I chose behavioral interventions and that sounds kind of vague. So I was just kind of wondering if there was a more specified track that I should go to.
Does anybody else pick behavioral?
Yeah, there's Heather and Alexandra, it says, and me.
Okay. Anybody else on the call, ladies?
Yeah.
Heather? I think okay, both of you are on the call. Behavioral interventions. Let me pull up the Padlet real quick. Any other questions while I'm pulling that up?
I chose the cognitive interventions, and I guess to just piggyback on the same question, is there a more specific route that we should go down, or is that kind of like self-determined.
So cognitive behavioral, so I would say, and this is interesting because that's going to lump it together, but cognitive, I would put you in here in cognitive behavioral. And looking at my intervention people. Okay, social
the other
skills. Naturalistic. And as you can see, they literally just updated the Affirm website between the last semesters, which is why they changed some of the names of these things. So I'm just trying to figure out what behavior interventions have been switched to, and I'm thinking that it is FBA. So I'm going to change this to FBA. And if you go down in the Affirm module, functional behavior assessment. Sound good? Behavioral people?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have questions on their topic? Again, some of your topics now live inside of these other topics, and others have changed titles slightly.
Is there a specific social skills one? I didn't get to look through it, but is there social skills?
There is, and I'm going down here. Social skills training, right here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. And if you are on here and you see something else that absolutely interests you, shoot me an email, and you are welcome to change it out to something else. Any more questions? Okay, so as soon as we log off, I will put this PowerPoint, the recording, and then I'll link you guys to the Affirm website as well. So if you give me about 10 minutes to upload this video, I will get that all done, and it should be up and ready to go for you by 7:30. Any more questions? Okay, if not, you ladies know where to reach me, and again, continue to keep up the good work and stay engaged.
There was a question on the chat, I think. I don't know if you saw that one.
I did not.
It's from Jillian. It says, do we have to be in the video or just audio?
So it has to be a video. You do not have to be in it, but you need to be showing something. So you can show a PowerPoint. I would prefer not just a video of you talking. Because think about your classmates who have to watch 3, and think about me who has to watch 20 of them. So, at least give me some type of visual. If you're going to do a simulation, you can do a simulation with, someone at home. That's great too. But, give me a little more than just, 7 minutes of you holding papers and reading. Any other questions? All right. Then you ladies can go and relax and enjoy your night. And I will see you shortly. Have a good one.
Thank you.